Did that scare you? I think Rachael may have to change her pants now. Morning, Badger. Good morning, buddy. It stormed crazy out here last night. I don't know if you can see how wet the ground is, but it's enough. Never heard anything other than the coyotes and the goose or duck, whatever it was, that scared the crap out of Rachael. Anyway, come here. Rah, rah, rah. What do you hear, baby?
I don't know.
Anytime we've heard any kind of unnatural sound that we're not used to, I haven't heard birds and stuff.
Yeah.
And right now there are birds and stuff happening, so birds are happening. That's how you say that.
Birds are happening?
Yep. I don't know what he's looking at out there, but he is really alerting on something. This is the first time he's done this out here tonight. Now he turns around and sees us, but yeah, that's the first time he's done that at all. You never see him stand still this long.
Keeps on looking out there.
Yeah, he's looking out there.
Yeah.
Sorry the windshield's dirty.
That wind started
It
picking up.
is really... Is he hackled up? I can't see. This is a good reason to have him. This is one of the reasons we have him. Yeah, we have him because we wanted a dog in the van, and we love Badger. But it's also good to have something that'll.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess he's good now. But we watch him a lot because
Yeah.
you know, he sees things that we just don't see. He senses things we won't sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first time he's done that today. I decided to kind of walk up over here where Badger was staring, which is up in this direction. We read a comment a little ago that said, "Y'all are white people. You're not supposed to believe in Bigfoot and stuff." I'm like, well, actually, we both have native blood in us.
Yeah.
And we're not white. We're more of a tan color. I'm just a darker tan than Rachael. Goes down into this little draw. I don't know if you can see down in there.
There's like an area over there. It's flat.
Yeah, there's like a... I'm going to try to walk down in there, so we'll see how many times I fall.
Oh, don't.
I don't have the right shoes on for this. That's one thing. We spend a lot of time out in nature. We spend a lot of time in the woods. And when you spend a lot of time out here, you get used to knowing what you're supposed to hear or what.
There he went.
Yeah, he's already down there, but that's Badger. He's four-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's too steep. I don't want
Yeah, it's...
to ride out here. I don't want you to take me to the emergency room or anything.
Yes. Oh, so now I'm old and we've got to go to the emergency room.
What?
What happened? I like you.
No, I said if I fell.
Oh, I'm not taking you to the emergency room. I'm talking about me. But no, what I was saying is, spending a lot of time out in the woods in places like this, you know what to listen for.
Yeah.
You know, the first time Rachael and I ever went camping together was up near Taos, New Mexico. It was at the same place where I had a Bigfoot encounter in 2013.
Yeah.
So she hadn't been camping in forever, you know.
Yeah.
Closest she was to camping in probably 20 years was living in West Monroe, Louisiana. You know, and I've gone a lot. I grew up camping. I grew up in, I didn't grow up in places like this, but I grew up going to places like this all the time. But what I was gonna say is, you know, the first time, or that night, it was Rachael and I, our 2 sons, and oldest son's fiance.
Yeah.
And she wasn't raised camping either.
No.
So especially your first night being out camping somewhere like this, like she was hearing stuff all night.
Yeah.
And, you know, future daughter-in-law was like, no, I don't like this. It didn't really bother myself or my boys because we've done it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you go out, you know, the first time you go out camping, or if you don't do it very often, and then you've been in your house and you've been in the relative safety of your house, then you come out to a place like this, especially in a tent.
Yeah.
No, forget a tent. You don't feel safe. And you hear every little noise. Rachael and I being out in this a lot, we hear things, and we know what sounds are normal, and we know what sounds are not normal.
Yeah.
You know, she grew up in the woods like this.
Yeah.
They didn't go camping a lot, but she grew up where it was like this. I grew up in Terribleville. I've lived in Idaho. You know, I can see the Tetons from my work, and spent a lot of time camping. We were probably 40 miles from Canada at one point camping. I don't know how I don't know how far away we were from anybody, but it was a long ways. I mean, and we went down Bumblebee Campground up near
Bumblebee, huh?
Yeah, Bumblebee. And that's the first time I ever saw a moose that wasn't the first time I saw a moose in the wild. It was the first time I saw a Mac Daddy moose. It was a bull moose. And I didn't like it. And they make a weird sound. They make it sound like somebody trying to start a 2-stroke McCullough engine. I didn't like it. But I got used to hearing things like that. We hear things out here, and we know what. Obviously, we're not seasoned woodsmen. We're not. But we're also not newbies to being out in the wilderness. We're not. So when we hear something that's out of the ordinary, we, especially for this area,
want to investigate it.
Yeah, but when we hear a noise that's out of the ordinary for this area where we've lived for a pretty good while. I've lived down here since '97, and she's lived in this area essentially her whole life, except for living in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Which is actually probably woodier than this.
Yeah, it is.
But we know what sounds normal here. I guess is what I'm trying to say. We know what sounds normal. We know what's not out. We know what sounds out of the ordinary. And the howls we heard the other night were out of the ordinary. There's no question about that. We haven't heard anything tonight.
No.
But again, have the cameras ready in case we do hear something. We've had some comments about being afraid to go camping. Yeah, your first night or two out in it, especially in a tent, you don't feel safe.
Oh, a tent, no.
Yeah, you don't feel safe.
Now in the van,
yeah, go ahead.
Totally different.
Could somebody or something get into the van?
Yeah.
Sure, they could, but it's not as likely. You know, a bear could just go slink through a tent, and then you don't have a life anymore.
No.
And we all like to want to know, we want life.
Yeah.
I knew it started with an S. But yeah, get out in the woods, because this is soul refreshing.
Yeah.
This helps your spirit. Get out of the concrete and the bricks. Get out here. This is where God intended us to be. He built this. I don't think God made West Texas. I think he let Satan build that part. There's a helicopter.
Yeah.
Probably a medevac.
He probably doesn't. He probably don't see us.
Yeah, that's a live flight.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, he won't. They couldn't see us. They're not looking down here. They have their minds on other things. But yeah, get out in the woods.